That's a low resolution. Either way, it's Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. And that's not just for people who have given birth. It's also for people who have adopted kids. It's for people who have raised children that want to own or help raise children. It's for guardians. Happy Mother's Day to you guys who allow your kids to be themselves, to grow into themselves. Anyway, this is about something else. Probably the noise. Anyway, so poverty eradication, it's impossible. They actually have a ministry of poverty. How silly. Okay, well, I think it's time we understand that poverty is different depending on where you come from. For example, if you live in a city and you don't have money, or you have a job that barely provides you with anything, then you're in trouble. But if you live on the outskirts where you have your own land, where you grow your own crops, you make your own food, you sell some, you have a small business, you make money, you buy what you have to, you're not living in poverty. But according to the world, you are. And this is wrong, because this is not a city country. It's not made up of cities. People do that because of greed. People have been caught and pulled into the money and strength of money. What can you call it? Way of life. You know, when I said what I said about the term was true. And if I decide no one uses that term, no one will use it. They'll walk around it. The value of that property, that was true. But there are lots of things that I didn't say. There are lots of things that I have withheld even from family, because I'm not a money person. I don't think money in paper and bank value is very important. But if I was to lay out assets and what like most people, a lot of people would be surprised. Just talking about one aspect. I won't name where and I won't name anything. But the area's potential, natural potential, as well as its output puts it at around 150 million US dollars. And that's not what I want to see. That's not how my mind works. So I'm not going to be pulled into the money thing. Money can be made. It's easy to make money. I know. I've made money. I've given money away, more than you can imagine. And I have friends with a lot of money. I've happened to be acquainted with the richest guy on the planet. So why I want to speak about this is because of poverty and how poverty is viewed. Let me tell you that poverty is a construct. When people were moved away from their land, when they were not allowed to sustain themselves. They were pulled into poverty because they could no longer feed themselves. They could no longer clothe themselves. That is poverty. And that poverty is a legacy that was fought. It was fought by unionists who went and found out that mines were being unfair. And then an ideology developed, and it grew, and it became a movement, and it became a struggle for independence. Now, poverty eradication. Poverty eradication is mainly based on towns and cities. And what I mean by that is providing basic needs to those who don't have them. Basic needs like breakfast, lunch, and dinner without having people beg. But it's a last resort. It's not just anyone who would go and say, I want food, and it's to prevent the kids who are sent out with papers that say donate instead of being in school because their grandparents can feed them. That's why the pension has been raised, and it's been raised again, because there is a culture of dumping children on grandparents as opposed to raising kids together with grandparents. Some make them the grandparents' responsibility, and this cultural shift will take quite some time to dissolve. So we have to get to the root of it, and it's the cause of poverty. Poverty of mind. Kids who do not believe in their own potential. Kids who think that since they cannot have what the others have, or the others have, the others must have cheated somehow. They are privileged, and they want to get there too, which has bred a materialistic culture. And this can only be fought by uplifting people's self-esteem. How do you uplift people's self-esteem? You give them back control. The problem we have now is that young people, our generation, is very money conscious because we feel, I want to live this way. In order for me to live this way, I have to do this and I have to do that to sustain this, which is wrong. The most important things that we don't take note of become our driving force, and that I want becomes very easy to achieve. Very, 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 very easy to achieve. Why? Because the drive and the passion is there. So people have different dreams, people have different perceptions. But now poverty is everybody, affects everybody. The concept that backstairs are now taking on the burden of lazy people or what and what. I think you should shut up and consider the fact that you are civil servants. Lazy, bloody lazy. We give you more holidays than you deserve. Keep rattling, and all those flunky holidays will go away, and you will walk, and you will be judged based on your work output. And if you do not achieve, if you do not attain, you will be fired. And we will see. We will see if you still be on your high horses, laughing at the vulnerable, the disabled. Those who did not have a choice You see, poverty eradication is about empowerment. It's as much a social experiment as it is a social operation. Now, there are lots of people that want to take glory. They think eradicating poverty means feeding people. That's not what poverty is. Or buying clothes. That's not what poverty is. I was walking around with torn shoes and, really old pants. Spending 180,000 a month sometimes. Was I in poverty? Would someone feeling pity for me and buying me new shoes have lifted me from poverty? So let's not make it superficial. It's not. I'm not putting myself on a platform here. What I am saying is that in order for us to eradicate poverty, we have to understand it. We have to put up barriers and safety nets. And that's what I'm doing. As I'm talking right now, the number of people that we have empowered, knowingly and unknowingly, of course it's not statistics, is immeasurable. I didn't think it was possible. Trust me, I didn't. But it has happened. Because I do not see poverty as an economic problem. Not here. Poverty is not economical. Poverty is basic. Poverty is take away all technology, take away all of human so-called achievements, take us back into the bush, make us hunter-gatherers. And now all of the animals are dead because of drought. Men can hunt. Men's crops are dying. That is poverty. Poverty is nobody's bank balance. So I will outlay what exactly the goals for poverty eradication are, which are actually poverty prevention, because poverty is a figment of economical imagination here. It really is. So I just had to say that because I'm tired of all these comments about falsehoods and lying to people about eradicating poverty and so forth, because people have debt. Your debt is not poverty. That is money mismanagement. Your bills are money mismanagement. And in a developing phase, we have to come together and use our minds. We have to solve problems, not just weep. Next year, I'm going to list my businesses which are thriving. I will list them. Since parents, I didn't want to, but I will list them. And they have all been part of a plan. You know, the way I work is I don't want to put it out there because I know the nature of where I am. But I may I want this, I'm doing this, I'm saying this, it's 15 minutes. It's long. Anyway, I want to say young people should stop fearing losing the way they live, or that they will have losses, or that they will have to have responsibilities, this loss, and sort of like, how will I maintain my lifestyle, or like the world is going to be scary. It's not. In fact, things have got easier. You have more allies, and we're with you not because you're whose child and because you're what and what. Nah, we're here because we've been doing this, and we will. And when there's more freedom, there'll be more to dissect. At the moment, I think I need more time as to how I'm going to articulate it to make it understandable at all levels. And just one more thing, I want to talk about the death penalty thing. I heard it was controversial. The death penalty is a tradition. People used to burn witches, people used to hang people. But the thing is, ending life or killing someone as punishment is not punishment. It's a cop-out. There are some people that need to be eliminated because them breathing means that they still carry out their atrocious ways, but not those in captivity. So yeah, there's a lot more